So hello, I'm Langley, and I'm very honored to be here to talk about Kathy Eisenhart's work. Can you find my presentation? And I really, I must say, before I get started on a few words that I have to say, that I really love Kathy's work. I've probably read a lot more of it than many of you have. I use the work with the rewiring paper in my qualitative methods class as an exemplar of doing multiple case study research, and it's a really great piece. Kathy has really had huge influence, not only in terms of content, working on issues such as strategic decision making and innovation, but also in terms of methods. And it's on that topic that I'm going to focus now. And I'm actually going to tell you a story. This is a true story. I am not making it up. Okay? And this is about manuscript AMJ PW 980042. Which I and Jean-Louis Denis and Lise Lamotte submitted to the Academy of Management Journal, as you can see, in 1998. And I'm going to give you some of the, I'm just going to give you some extracts from Review It 2. And
I don't know.
Review It 2, if you are here, thank you so much. We did get our paper published, and I think you helped us with that, so thank you, and please don't pay any attention to the rest of the presentation. So, Review 2 starts off, as many reviews do, by saying that we have a very nice database. Overall, the effort extended in terms of number of interviews conducted and the number of top management meetings attended is very impressive. The biggest remaining tests to be met by the manuscript fall into one of two categories. The first category is method, and the second category is theory. It goes on. The authors employ a multiple case study method. This approach is rare. This is 1998 in the Academy of Management Journal, thereby placing a greater burden on the authors than submission to a journal that regularly publishes such a method might entail. However, there is a clear precedence for this approach. Eisenhart. And a related quote, yes, this is the Eisenhart fast decision-making paper in the politics decision-making paper, and a related publication in the Academy of Management Review that champions the potential benefits of this approach for empirical research in the field of management. I concur with Eisenhart that carefully crafted case studies should be considered as valid candidates for publication in the top journals in our field.
I don't think I did write this.
I don't think so either.
No, because I don't usually explicitly say myself, or I always put it on people.
I knew that. To evaluate the case study method employed in the research, I will use Eisenhart's arguments, 1918 to 1989A, as the primary methodological standard. And I will use here two empirical manuscripts, Eisenhart 1989B, etc., as implicit comparative examples. The authors may assume that I concur with this logic and should address responses either in terms of these arguments or with new, clearly specified arguments that they believe extend or improve her logic. It's very important to establish the legitimacy of this method, as it does appear to directly compete with the many of the more traditional quantitative methodological approaches. I would encourage the authors to devote a paragraph or two to the legitimacy of of case study research. At a minimum, this might include discussing Eisenhardt's call for such research and possible reasons for the disappointing lag to this call. And then they go on to suggest that we cite exemplars in other exemplars in Academic Management Journal or Administrative Science Quarterly, and very helpfully, Eisenhardt cites at least 4 others in her table 3 that might be helpful. And it goes on. So Eisenhardt, 1989, in table 1 of her paper, lists 8 aspects of case study research which are important to consider.
I was too busy to write this much.
I wouldn't have presented this, by the way, if I had thought this had been captured. Of these, I feel the authors have done a nice job of the 4 areas, so we did 4 areas where we did a nice job. Thus, my remaining comments focused on the other 4 areas noted by Eisenhardt. And then we had 4 pages of comments on the other 4 areas, going systematically through each of the areas. Here's just one. This is about crafting instruments and protocols. This one was not my favorite. Eisenhardt and many others note the potential benefits of combining quantitative and qualitative approaches, and this approach is demonstrated in some of the best case study research programs. Do the authors have philosophical reasons for avoiding these, or were there other reasons for not using this type of coagulation? So, there we go. So, I just want to take a moral from this story. Kathleen Eisenhardt changed our world. She helped to make theory-building case study research on strategizing and activities and practices accessible and legitimate in our top journals. If Reviewer 2 had not been able to draw on Kathleen Eisenhardt's work, I don't know whether we would have got our paper published in AMG. She made a difference. She made a huge difference to what we can do in our research. And at the same time, she set the bar very high in terms of methodological thoroughness, rigor, and quality of insight. I mean, you should, if you haven't already done so, you should look at all those papers that she presented to us just now. The quality and quantity of data that she collected, the exact firms that she was able to get access to are absolutely amazing. I would love to be able to do that kind of work. And so these are very great contributions. And she showed us explicitly some possible ways to do case study qualitative research successfully, and inspired us to seek the same levels of quality and virtuosity in our own research. And also, I would add, to do that in ways that not only academics could appreciate, but practitioners also. How many of us can publish in ASQ and HPR using the same material? Very curious. So